Abby, we're going to roll some video of this morning as you got up bright and early, went out for the first practice. Hey, how you doing? Boy, a smile on your face, and then a 4-hour practice session. Al Brown is the assistant coach. Here's the Al. He never smiles. He's serious.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad until I think our team missed just about every single free throw at the end of practice, and she was not light on the running. But, you know, it's the beginning of the year. It's our second practice, the second practice in about a 12-hour span. But, you know, we're just really glad to be on the floor and to finally just stop talking about the season and start practicing.
It looks like that string of athletes moving to television is going to continue, maybe not next year, but down the road a couple of years after Abby Waner finishes up her basketball career.
It started back when she shadowed the Denver Nuggets broadcast team a while ago, and it kind of really took off this summer when she had an internship at ESPN, and has carried that forward this year. Even during the season, she's done some things for the David Cutcliffe Show, and she's also done things for ESPN and ESPNU, and she's off to a really good start.
As a student, when you're involved at Duke, you already know the stories that silent reporters talk about. I knew Kyle and Gerald Henderson, and it was really cool just to be able to ask them what they thought. And it just so happened that there was a red light, and it was on national television. So I remember like the rush I felt after every game too, and I felt like it always went by so quickly. And as the game progressed, there was always more to say. There was always more to get across, more that I noticed. And it's a totally different way to delve yourself into a sport. And if you truly love sports, broadcasting is so much more than about being on camera.
Abby's fabulous. Do not take my job, girl. No, I mean, she's great. I mean, she's got such a wonderful personality, and I think that's the biggest thing. You always have to be yourself, and she's got that part down. You know, if she's just herself and she knows the game clearly, I mean, I think she's got a bright, bright future, and she's gotten some wonderful opportunities, and you go, girl.
Duke is great because it teaches you how to think, and it teaches you how to write, and it teaches you how to speak. And those are all things that are huge with broadcasting. I didn't do journalism or communications, and those are things that I think you learn specifically at other universities. But Duke, I feel like, is a little bit more abstract education, a little bit more liberal, all-encompassing education. And so there's a definite correlation there. But it's really cool at the end of the day, when I'm about to graduate, to know that, you know, even though I wasn't pre-med, even though I don't want to go to law school, that I still use my Duke education in a very productive way to create opportunities, I guess, more than anything.
Well, I think Abby's done a good job of taking advantage of the opportunity of being a Duke basketball player, whether it be, you know, doing the sideline reporting for the men's game or in football, and it means she's doing extra. You know, it reminds me of a lot of what Jay Billis did, you know, when he did in the summers, whether it be with Major League Baseball and working behind the scenes, or, you know, doing his own Cable 13 show, you know, during the season. They paid a price, and to see Abby doing that because she has a passion, or she might want to do that in the future, that's great for our student athletes to be able to do that. And I applaud her for, you know, stepping forward and doing it, and for the people who have helped her have this opportunity.
When I was deciding at college, that's something that one of my mentors said to me, is that pick a place where you're going to be able to network. And at that time, I had no idea that I wanted to do sports broadcasting, but I picked Duke because I knew that in any area you can network very easily with Duke alumni. So when I was a senior in high school, I knew I was going to Duke, and at the McDonald's All-American game, Jason Williams was one of the commentators. And I met him during the three-point shooting contest. And Greg Paulus, men's player here, introduced me to him, and it was great. And like initially, like, I created a relationship with Jason, and he had been so helpful throughout the years. Gave me his number and was always very available to talk to. And I spoke to him on numerous occasions about broadcasting, and then about when we would play horse when he would come here. Jay Billis has been by far the most helpful person throughout all of this. He is a very real person. What you see on air is the same Jay Billis as if you're grabbing, you know, lunch. He let me shadow him at the NBA draft, which was, through all of this, probably one of the best experiences I've had. And he passed it off as me working for him, but he really just wanted me to get the experience. So he just let me sit next to him at all the meetings, ask him questions. I helped some of his researchers during the draft. He's always very accessible. He'll text me after he sees me on air. I've called and asked him for specific advice in terms of how do you hold the mic, to who should I talk to about this. So that's the thing about Duke, and it's not only specific to broadcasting. Across the board, the Duke networking and to be cliche, the Duke family has never been more evident to me than through all of this.
Inside